Hello, and welcome to this episode in the Advanced Topics series entitled Creating a Virtual Match. I'm John Becker with Shooters Technology, makers of the Orion scoring system software and the Athena electronic scoring target. In this episode, we'll cover how to create a virtual match. Virtual matches allow two or more teams to compete against each other from geographically different locations. This could be another high school in the district across town. It could be a junior club halfway around the world, and anything in between. And if the year 2020 taught us anything, it really provided a use for virtual matches previously unforeseen due to COVID restrictions. We experienced, clubs and ranges that were restricted from having certain number of people in them, to schools that went virtual and didn't have teams that could travel. So virtual matches allowed an opportunity to still compete, even when conditions didn't allow it otherwise. This really is a good tool to keep in your toolbox in case these restrictions might come up again. With virtual matches, it's important to understand the parent-child relationship. This is how these matches work. There's one match that has all the control over setting the name, dates, course of fire, etc. This is the parent. There could be multiple child matches, but there is only one parent match. So as far as virtual matches, there are 3 steps to creating one. You create a virtual match parent, you add child match participants, and then in the case of the child match locations, you download the child match. So we're going to go ahead and get into those. We're going to go to the desktop. So within the Orion desktop, you are presented, as always, when you first open, with your welcome screen. Right here, you can create a virtual match. Let's say you went past that and you didn't know, you still can go back up to File, New Match, create a virtual match parent. So I'm going to go ahead and, it's going to ask you that there's a match open. Do you want to close the current match? So this part is going to look almost identical to any other screen when you're creating a match, but the fact that it's a parent has a couple of unique features. So name the match whatever you want, make it something that's pretty easily recognizable. So when you send out the child matches, a participant would know what to expect. I'm going to say this will last from, we'll give it a week for folks to shoot their match. Um, Again, just like any other match, you got to select the rule book, course of fire, number of team members, etc. So we're going to do a 3x20, so national standard air rifle, 3-position air rifle rules, 3x20. On the results center, since you are creating a virtual match, it defaults to uploading scores and allow public to access the scores, because virtually you need to be able to have access for all the child match participants to um, upload their scores and for everybody to be able to view them. So otherwise, if this was, you can select your competitor number. If this was a sanctioned match with CMP, you would obviously select the CMP number. We can just leave this, it's a fun match, we'll just leave this as sequential, and you click save. It's going to ask you to confirm because you cannot change this after you create the match. So we'll go ahead and create that. Again, from this point, as the parent host, nothing looks any different, right? It automatically added my favorites. I can go and shoot the match locally just like any other match. I can scan electronic targets. I can connect to Athena. I can connect to Zeus or Megalink and shoot our match. Where it's different, or what the power of this is the next step of where you would add under match, virtual match children. This is where you would add the child participants, the other teams across the country or across the world that are going to shoot in your match. So you can search by either the name or the account number. The account number is usually the easiest just because it's unique. Sometimes the names, while they should be the same, you have to understand that this is the account name that was registered when they created the account. It may or may not match, or it might have a school district versus a particular school or a particular JROTC unit. So if you know the account number, that's the easiest, but you can also search by name. I'm going to go ahead and select this one. You would add them. It's going to ask you to confirm because you cannot remove a match child once you create them. So we'll go ahead and do that. I can go in and add additional. You also are not limited to doing this all at once. Let's say I close this and somebody else signed up and I want to go back in. You can go in multiple times and add whoever you want to add to it. So in that case, so now I'm going to take my parent hat off and show you what you would see as a match child, right? So you start Orion, again, wherever you are in the world, you start Orion. Now you are presented with a match to select up in this top box, and that's the one we just created. So you can go ahead and do that. It's going to ask you again to confirm that you have a match open. Do you want to replace it? And then this confirmation is you're about to download the virtual match. Is it okay to proceed? We'll say yes. Your next box you are presented with is you can create a single team and add all of your favorites to that team. It's just a it's just an easier way to kind of save a step, but I'll show you a way. It doesn't really matter what you want to do with it. But let's say you don't normally name your teams based on your account name. The way to work around that is under Match Teams tab. You can go in, let's say you have a team mascot, or you name your, once you save it on the match teams, if you go back to match competitors, it updates here. You can have multiple teams. Again, just like any other match. What makes this so powerful is right up here on the globe icon, the Orion Results website. I'll go ahead and open that. You can click on that, but I've got it running in the background. What I want to show you is once you get to this point, the results are out on the website. It doesn't look any different than any other match. The, the beauty here is though you may have teams from, again, cross town or across the world shooting in that same match. Where that'll show up is in your region settings. If you had a team from Texas and Virginia and Georgia and the UK or Germany, that would show up here along with the individual participant would show up based on which match they're associated with. So if they're shooting a child match in Germany, the German club would have a region showing up here. But otherwise, it looks the same. You've got individual results based on classification, sporter, precision. You have team results based that way. You can drill into these. If we had scores, you can drill in and see scores just like any other match. So it's really powerful and gives you some flexibility that might not otherwise be available were you back in the old days of only being able to shoot a match in person. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified for future instructional videos as they are released. And as always, if you have any questions or need support, feel free to look on our website, call the office, or email the office, and we'll be happy to help.